Chinese word they use. Okay. When you look up to the sky, the heaven, you look at the stars, the sun, the moon, is where our calculation of time come from, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The hours, the days, the week, the years is based on those planets. Okay. So this is what we're talking about, the modern day, what we call time factor, concept of time. Okay. So it's like, okay, our relative time to the moon or to the sun is based on our positions, right? So when it comes to fighting, time means your position. Okay? So we stick with one of them. Now, position, what does that mean in a fight? It's a little bit more concrete. If I say, all right, you understand about heaven part of the fighting, nobody knows because it's a technical term. Time could be interpreted as many things. Could be the timing, could be speed, could be distance. Okay, so position, okay, when you're dealing with combat, from individual to multinational war, right, you are here to eliminate your opponent's fighting force, their ability to fight. So you have to have a superior positions. It's not where a competition you have to be fair. Right? In a real reality, you don't fight if you don't have advantage. It's time to run away or retreat. Does that make sense? But so when we say you gotta have superior time, most people say, oh, I'm faster. Yes, if you're faster, great. But what if you're fighting a guy who is faster than you? How are you gonna beat somebody who's faster? You say, wait, give me 2 weeks, let me go back, practice more. How are you going to beat someone who is faster than you?
Better position, sir.
Okay? Let's say Master Vincent, right? If me and him were doing competition kicks, who's faster?
Vincent, sir.
Now is seeing Vincent. But when I was his age, I was just as fast. So if I'm going to run a race with him, right? Who's faster?
Vincent, sir.
Vincent. So how am I going to beat him?
You start.
Well, you gain a position first, right? So let's say, okay, seeing Vincent's over there, and he's sitting down, and somebody go, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay? That position is at a disadvantage. Okay? Now I have a chance to beat someone who's faster. Does that make sense?
Sir.
Sir.
It's easy, right? So in a fight, same thing about position. He threw me a punch. Well, it looks kind of reasonable. I did a signature when Chun moved. But, this is also a weapon. All he has to do is just give me a second shot. Because I'm still in his. Correct. It's what we call, his gun still pointing at me. So I didn't really create a better position. Right? So what I want is this. Punch again. So where his two arms pointing at? Over there. So I already landed a shot. Does it take a lot of time for me to hit him again? No. But for him to hit me, he has to readjust the position, which takes more time. Right? Same thing. Beginners, they punch like this. First of all, right, they want power, so they're going to punch with the backhand. But that means they have no understanding of precision. What's the situation here? He hit me first and got hit. Why? Because he wasted time. Why he wasted time? He telegraphed. Number two, he traveled from the back. You see where my front hand is? Okay, look at the situation. For his backside to come into my space and hit me, his face has come closer to my fist. Actually, I'm not even traveling half of the distance. I'm probably traveling a quarter of that distance if he's going to come and hit me with the backside. This is understanding of time. Number one, you telegraph. Give me a lot of time to. Number two, you attack long range. So I already set up, I have a front weapons, right? That's why he hit me first and he get hit. This is a time factor, and time is relatively based on who's got a better position. Right? Forward punch. Right? Boom. This is a punch I deflected, okay? You see, my center is still protected. So center is kind of like the high ground, one of the key positions. But you don't want to just take the center, you want to take his whole facing away. Okay, so this is all example. So this is should I be attacking him now? Too far away. Okay, with like the short distance movement, like tanda, pakda, too far. So if I understand about time and distance, so I probably attack him with a big long kick. But long distance kick takes speed. I won't do that now as I'm getting older. When I was young, I didn't have the speed to do that. I might be able to take a risk. This is all time factor. Time is your position. Understand? Right? So everything we do is based on, let's say he grabs my hand. Right away, it's not like I'm just going to make a move or look. Right? My position already took away his position. Okay? There's option for me to continue to grab him here. Okay? Why is it I don't care? Because he's going to think he has a free-handed punch. As soon as I move, now I got him trapped. It's all based on positions. I set up where I have all the advantages. So now you gain time advantage. Understand? Now we can give you a lot of different examples. But heaven is time factor and position is the key. So would I want to fight somebody without a superior position? Okay, watch, in a self-defense situation, he is the aggressor, right? You know what, hey buddy, I'm sorry, okay? You know, I'm actually already stepping off to the side. My hands are held high, but I didn't go like this. I went like this, which is de-escalating, stop. But my hand is situated where this is covering my center. This is on the outside. Would he think he can throw a hook from here? Would you throw a hook and my hands are here? Right, so subconsciously, right, I kind of give him the idea this is open. But I already expected that. So this is called setup. I know my positions. He doesn't. Okay, setup. Okay, let's go back to space. Not talking about Elon Musk. Okay? Heaven is time, time is fighting position. Earth is space. All right? So what is space in terms of combat? Distance is time.
Shape. Structure.
Structure and shape. Okay, earlier, right? Me and Josh gonna race. Sit there. I gain a superior position, meaning my time advantage is established, right? Right? And now he's sitting, I'm standing, and I'm ready to blast off. That's called structure. That's the shape. Right? So in fight, it's about practical understanding of your mechanics. It's not about look. Okay, I'm a Shaolin Kung Fu guy. Oh, tiger! Okay, now what shape have I created to the human body? Did I took out all my kicks? Yeah, I cannot kick from here, guys. And I'm leaning forward. So that means that look took out my kicks, my strike, maybe even grabbing. Now why would you want to do that? You took all your weapons out. Oh, because I saw this in a movie. The most important fight in a movie, down to the last championship, last move, and this guy took the human weapon completely out of commission. The hands are apart, the feet is off balance. Of course, he's going to be able to jump and kick him, right? That's not real, guys. This is shape. So how you set up, if you set up like this, because that guy's already hugging you, grabbing you, want to take you down, this shape will give him a hard time. If he's close quarter within your two hands, this is the shape. Because I got 2 hands and 2 feet ready to fire on you. Long distance, right? That's the pole, okay. But here, I can reach. So this is the shape. Shape for long distance, shape for mid-range, shape for grappling. But if you don't understand the science of fighting, you would think, Grandmaster Ming is doing Taekwondo now. Oh, now he's doing Wing Chun. Oh, now he's doing Jiu-Jitsu. So those are mechanics, not style. Does that make sense? So space means structure and shape and form. Right? Shape, structure, okay? So isn't it true that shape determines function? What's the all-universal truck look like?
Big front, open back.
Square box like. Right? 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 How about if I put that shape for the primary design of a sports car? Would you buy it? Why not?
It's inefficient.
Because you know that shape doesn't fit for speed. Right? It's very simple, guys. So how you stand, okay? Like your tonsil, your elbows out here, you punch with the shape of bending your wrist, and then you fight with the knees together. I mean, that is like completely not understanding human postures. Okay, so this is the shape understanding, structures. So that means as we train our system in Shaolin and Chun, you have to be mindful of your position, mindful of your structure. Make sense? So then when we engage our opponents, we know we already control their time and space. That's the battlefield, guys. I took your time away. I took your space away, everything. Okay, so then what is human?
Energy.
Yes, without energy, time and space is just a theory. Okay, energy, power. Right. So anything related to energy, there's mental energy, there's emotional energy, there's physical energy. Okay, so how much force you generate. Real fighting is all about devastating force. When you didn't do anything, if you go super fast, like most of the Wing Chun technique, no energy, it was like panicking. Right? One good MMA fighter with a hard cross, and you can't take that force. So it's not the art, it's the person. Okay? You have to understand the value of full contact competition. You train a young person into a very athletic guy that's got speed and power, can take a hit. When they hit you, it's like a hammer hitting you. So that is reality, guys. It's not like, this style is better than this style. That's why our fighters have to be at that levels too. Okay? If you practice Wing Chun but without power for the next 20 years, it's exercise. But you won't have, it's like a dull knife. It won't work, guys. So power is reality. Okay, so understand that. So that's why we have to think more efficiency. Okay, we start looking at the weak spot of a human structure. We start looking at destroying their form and shape. We're looking at, so in reality, right? Let's say if I'm a soldier, a warrior, and I'm lucky enough to live a long life, survive, and that means I got decades of fighting experience. But now I'm old. Can I still fight? But against someone who's faster and stronger, I'm gonna have a problem. So that's why weapons is so important. Right, if some MMA pro fighter come in here and wanna challenge me, right? So in realms of time and space, who has the advantage? He does. Speed and power, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do I do?
Grab those knives.
Right? Yeah, if he's come in as an athlete, I say, hey, no problem, you want to test out one Chun? Then I send one of my young guys to fight. All right? My teenager can beat you. Now, if you come in here threatening people, then it's not competition anymore. Then it's a real fight. Then I would use whatever necessary force to stop it. Right? So if an MMA guy in the street want to harm you, can you pull out your knife? Do you have a knife? Yeah, because that becomes a deadly force. Or he's an MMA fighter, that means he can knock people out and hurt people and kill people. And he threatened you. So then you can put deadly force out. So the weapon becomes part of reality too. Right? So this is so that's why our system is complete. We have weapons. Right? Later when you learn a super long weapon, you can handle a shorter weapon. Right? If you learn how to handle 2 pair of knives that can hack, stab, slash, stick, trap, then you can handle 1 knife. Okay, so don't think, oh, we only got 2 weapons. We actually hide all those tools within those 2 weapons. 1 short, 1 long, 1 double. Okay? So my energy, going back to power. Well, I don't care you're a UFC 10-time champion, you're not going to be able to be as sharp as my knife. Does that make sense? Right. So when we're talking about energy of fighting, we call 0 to 10. 10 is killing. Right? If you're a real soldier, if you're dealing with protecting life and death situation, yes, killing is a possibility. You have to prepare for that. Okay. All right. So this is called time, space, energy. Now, going back to modern day, physics. We live in a 3-dimensional space-time reality. We call 4-dimensional reality. Our 5 senses, they're meant to engage the 4-dimensional realities. But if you have a personal faith, if you believe in quantum physics, if you believe in supernatural things, there's something higher. We call that the 6th sense. Okay? But to protect yourself on a physical level, you don't need to go there. You don't need to study quantum physics, but you do need to study physics to understanding the science of fighting. And physics is time, space, energy. Okay? How many space? X, Y, Z. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Now, before we have the technology to triangulate the satellites, the computer, to triangulate, the 3-dimensional reality is always there. It's just that we humans have caught up to the intelligence of creating the tools to triangulate. So that's why in today's war, there's no more dumb bombs. If you have the technology, use smart bombs. What's smart bomb?
It can triangulate and move.
Right, they put a computer device that can gear the bomb towards the target with pinpoint accuracy with the satellite triangulations.
Yes, sir.
Right? In World War II, right, you have a B-17, B-20, whatever, right? Hundreds of them. There's even a bomber array with 1,000 planes. They drop like literally hundreds tons, 1,000 tons of bombs, and they couldn't take out one huge factory because it's called dumb bomb. It's free fall by guess estimations. All right, it's that sight. But today, one plane, 10 bombs can knock out 10 precise targets. And if they're nuclear, one plane can knock out, destroy 10 cities with pinpoint accuracy. Not only the exact location, they can control the explosion. That's technology. Okay? Well, guess what? This three-dimensional technology was not created today. 300 some years ago in the Shaolin Temple, when they created Chun, the understanding of time, space, energy, and the human skeleton, they triangulate the human body to get that triangulated movement. So, three-dimensionally is precise. It's not a waste of time. It's not creating a weak structure. So this three-dimensional fighting system was created 300 some years ago, and that is the mother of Wing Chun. So it's about triangulation of the human skeleton. Understand? Okay. So that is the time, space, energy.